Hi everyone, so today we are going to do the last APK of Karachi, that was headhiding.apk. This is the 6th challenge, or so I think. I'm not sure about the sequence since I didn't have any description of those, but I'm guessing this is the 6th one, right? Considering how it was supposed to be done, but it was an easy one regardless. So the first thing we're going to do is, look at the application statically and see what we can find inside of it. I mean, if there's anything juicy, and there might be something. Okay, so we won't be going line by line, but just understand the application. We know that there is this method being called kFlag first whenever the application opens, and then it is going to call this flag, and if it doesn't work, it is going to just print the strike array. So it is not calling this L flag first anywhere. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually look at this, because this might be time taking. So here we can see that there is this array which contains alphanumeric characters and some special characters as well, and then it is creating a string builder type, and then it is going to append different indexes of these, right? So 4 is E and 19 might be D, right? I'm guessing because the flag format is always EDS CTF, right? So 8 and S, I guess, yeah, that must be it. So then it is going to append all of those into this array, and then it is going to it is not printing that array, but we are going to do that, and then we are going to get the flag from this first method over here. So we can write Java code for this, or we can write Python code for this, whatever you are comfortable with. All you need is these indexes, right? You have to go through each of these indexes, and then you have to append those. So just for the sake of doing this, like, do not take that much time to convert this code into Java. We are going to into Python. We are going to go with Java, right? So this is head hiding. Yeah, try that Java. Okay, so I'm going to just name that head hiding, and then I'm going to copy that method in here. I don't think so we need any data types. I don't think so we need anything imported here, right? Maybe we can use those, but I don't think so they are even being called anywhere. So there is this variable which is not being called anywhere either, so I'm going to remove that. Now I'm going to create a main method in here, and then I'm going to call this method inside of this, right? L flag first, which doesn't return anything, but we are in this case going to return S here. So I'm not sure if we can convert this into a string or something, but just try and just return S. Can we do that? Like plain. Okay, it's void, so we can't return it. What is the data type here? So can we return that now? I think we can. That's cool. So can we system dot out dot println on this? I think we can, right? So let's just call this file and see how it goes. And there we go, we got the first flag, right? So it did all the substitutions, it appended everything into this, right? I mean, if you want to see this each and every character being printed, you can just add a print statement in here, or you can add a I think I'll do that. Let's debug this and see ourselves how it happens. I sure hope it doesn't need some custom configurations. It doesn't, alright. So S is going to get populated by now, so if we just keep doing step over, the loop will continue. So it has 19 now. Not sure what is 19 here. Is that S key equivalent? My R S. What we need is the value of S actually. So what do we have here? Count 3, 4, 5 value. Okay, so these are the values being written into it. So if you convert this from I think there was that method in JavaScript from car code, string from car code, right? And if you try and convert those, hopefully you'll have that. But we don't need to do all that. I mean, if we don't really need to debug this as well. I was just trying it to you as an example. This that was the first flag, okay. And then we are going to move on to the second one. So for the second one, let's just go into a sequence. So for the second one, we can see that it is opening some file, a text file from the assets, and then converting that to a string, and then it is writing this to SD card download here, right? So we can either run the application and see if this works, right? Or we can just go to the assets and see the file for ourselves. But as far as I remember, the text file was like really big, and JetX wasn't able to load it because there's you can see the CPU utilization here as well. So I'm just going to exit JetX, and I'm going to get the source of this APK that we can do that with JetX. JetX GUI opens that decompiled code which you can backtrace and everything, but this gives us the source. So assets are always in your sources / assets, and you can see the text file is here and the APK is here as well. Okay, so it's writing something else here as well. That is the APK file. Why is it doing that? I mean, the JetX is off, so I can see that. So let's just see what's inside of it. And it is a really long text file. Judging from the headers, I mean, it might be an image. I'm not sure. So we can just we can see that it is basic64 encoded, and we get just to ignore these issues, because it is a valid basic64, we can use -I, which would ignore this garbage errors, and it decoded that. So I'm going to write that into I guess file, and see the file type of this, and it is Delwick. So it is the same as the text file, right? As we saw in the code, it was writing this as a .text extension. So we can again open this file. I'm going to first rename this to Dex, right? We don't have to do that, but just doing that to so we do not have any confusion. So I'm going to open that with JetX again, because JetX helps us see the text files, and we can see that there is a main activity in here. And in the main activity, we can see that there is a base64 encoded string, and then this method over here on create is actually base64 decoding that thrice. So we can do that using CyberChef or from the terminal as well. But since this is doing it 3 times, I'm not going to type base64-d again. So we can just use this. And there we go. We got the second flag. We have the first flag already. Now we are going to move to the third flag. And I guess for the third flag, we can look at the APK file which we have here in the assets, right? So I'm going to use JetX UI again and open that. Read this a little bit, and we can see that we again have this hackathon text maker, and it is again calling the base64 decode method thrice. But in this case, if you just focus on the string, you can see that it is hex encoded, and this one is not base64 encoded. So if you try base64 decode in it, it won't work, right? I mean, it did get us something, but that is not it. So what we need is from hex, right? So it is going to decode the hex encoded string. You can also use XXT to do that, and and there we go, we got the third flag as well. So this one was relatively easy. I'm not sure if this was a hard challenge. I mean, if anyone from the Karachi solvers is watching this, let me know. But I do think, because it has that name H, and Lahore and Islamabad had those APKs hybrid, right? They also tried with that. So I'm guessing this one was a difficult one. So yeah, that's it, and see you in the next one. Thank you.